Welcome back to Q Dads, guys, and yes, it's me, Ben. Episode 5 of Foundation is really picking up the pace for this season. Now, first off, I must correct myself. In my last breakdown last week, I did say that Mycogen was off-world. That's my mistake. I haven't read the books, of course, so it was just me trying to piece different things together from conversations. But, in fact, it's in the lower district of Trantor. So, lesson learned. Now, nothing in this episode was a filler. We got some very important bits of information, but honestly, I think I'm more interested in how it started and then how it ended, rather than the middle. Not to say that in between wasn't great, but just those bookends hit a little bit harder for me. So, of course, hit the subscribe button, guys, to stay up to date with everything Foundation. And of course, let's dive in. So, we open with Day riding into Mycogen. When he removes his helmet for a split second, you can kind of see a flicker of pride, almost like he's pleased with himself for rebelling against the Empire, and that little bit of passion to recover Song. But of course, there's two big things that happen here. So first, Day swaps places with some man, testing the waters in this hostile environment. And then, when the standing gets tossed around a bit, I didn't actually see that twist coming, and it turned out, of course, to be some old guy. Now, you can see when Day's watching from the background, it kind of makes you wonder, what exactly is he waiting for? Is he scouting for weaknesses? Or is he trying to figure out who's in charge? Second, we cut to Demoiselle recovering the body of the guard from the last episode. Now, she discovers that the nanites had in fact been swapped, and then calmly says that we won't see Day again, as if she's absolutely certain of his doom. So for me, the confidence is baffling. She also mentions that her Cleons are scattered, and of course that she'll take care of Dawn herself. Now, we won't see her again until the very end of the episode. And then there's Pritcher. So, heading back to New Terminus for a second, Pritcher makes his way there, only to be arrested and jailed for putting Foundation at risk, and using Hober Mallow to get information from the mule. Now, during this bit of a debate on what he can do, he's then obviously put into a jail, and he's scanned all over, and we get a little cheeky shot of his bottom, rivaling that scene of Season 2, Episode 1.
Somebody give me a damn blasted robe so my manhood isn't flapping around.
One of the details for me, though, is that his necklace is being confiscated. Now, I'm curious, was that just a trinket? Or does it connect to how he and Gale linked up before this season started? Meanwhile, Hober Mallow and Beta are forced to return to Haven because of the malfunctioning ship Sweetheart. But as Sweetheart is shot down out of the sky, crash landing onto what looks like the planet's cold side. Now, of course, remember, Haven has both a hot and cold side, and neither are hospitable on their own. Gale then contacts Dawn, telling him to meet Vinod Tarsik, who controls the sector of space that contains Calgon. Dawn heads to where the Imperial Council are and finds Tarsik, and pretty much blackmails him. And of course, during that little bit of a heated debate on how he's going to blackmail him, it turns out that then there's a girl, or a woman should I say, hiding in a cupboard in Tarsik's house. This obviously instigates Dawn to shoot her. Now, this moment was foreshadowed back when Gale gave Dawn the gun, saying that he'd know when he needed to use it. Now, with her powers growing stronger and Harry's plan shifting slightly, just how much of the future can she predict, or even manipulate? But of course, Dawn then addresses the council, making sure that Calgon's enclosure project moves forward. Now, he does reference here Cleon the 12th, which was the first Cleon we met when Foundation started. He was the one who sent Harry and Gale to Terminus, kicking off this entire Foundation movement. Now, you can see here why he's determined to deal with Calgon. But if we just jump away from there for just 2 moments, we briefly check in on Uncle Randu. Now, if I remember right at the start of this season, I'm pretty sure he died and he got thrown off his bike into that scorching, blistering heat. But of course, he's alive, and now he shows Torren and Beta around his home. But of course, they discuss how Magnifico uses this music to enhance the emotions of others, helping the mule's cause. Now again, small detail and a bugbear here for me is that Hober Mallow's jacket is on display, amongst other artefacts. Now, as much as I enjoyed that and it was an amazing detail to see, how did his jacket end up there? Like seriously, the last time we saw Hober Mallow, he was on a ship that was then obliterated and destroyed. So we can only presume that his jacket was destroyed with him.
It's Becky's arsehole.
Did he give that to Constance before he went on that ship? Baffles me to think how we got that jacket in the first place. But anyway, if there's anything you spotted in the background of this, remember, no book spoilers, but something connecting to the show that we've watched in the first 2 seasons, any relics or artifacts at all, let us know in the comments. I am going to be digging a little bit deeper into it myself to see if I can spot something, but in the meantime, I'd love to hear your opinion too. Now, it's also worth noting here that they seem to live right where Haven's hot and cold sides meet. You can see them walking between 2 zones as Torrent gives Magnifico the tour. But Magnifico then plays more music, and again, we get to learn a little bit more about how Beta and her kind of history came about. And she uses this word, a climber. So she's never been rich to begin with, but she's always grasping for more. She's really growing on me, and I really hope that doesn't spell doom for her. Now, the finale of this episode kicks into gear when the Imperial Council approves the enclosure around Calgon. They think they've trapped the mule, only to learn that he's already left the planet. Now, he did say when he popped up as a holograph to everyone that he planted Cobalt in the Gold Horse jump gate, which then of course detonates or gets triggered, and what it does is it pulls some of that energy from the sun, destroying both the gate and Calgon, killing millions of people along with the entire Imperial fleet. It was an absolutely epic scene to see. Now later, Dawn does confront Gale, asking if she knew. She then does admit that she's been rooting for Foundation all along, and that she needed the Empire to be weakened to get Harry's plan back on track, meaning that she betrayed Dawn and has kind of been fooling him for quite some time. Now, I do really feel sorry for Dawn in this. In Season 1, he tried to escape his role and was betrayed. In Season 2, he left with Queen Seraph, again breaking the Empire. And now, in Season 3, Gale betrays him. So, betrayal seems to follow him like a shadow. And then in the final moments, Tarsik shoots at Dawn, causing an explosion that sucks them both into space. And then the episode ends with Gale, unable to contact him, unsure if he's alive, only for Demoiselle to appear before her. Now, is Demoiselle going to attack? Work with her? Could this derail Gale's plan to stop the mule? And of course, what's next for the Cleonic dynasty? Now, on one final note, it kind of stems around the poeticness of the title, wherever tyrants spend eternity. Now, Dawn echoes this in a message to Dusk, telling him that he won't be able to be there for his ascension. And I thought that was just a nice little touch to end the episode on. But now, of course, we have Dawn drifting into space, Day off chasing some long-lost religion, and Dusk, who's about to face darkness alone. So the question is, can Demoiselle hold any of this together? Now again, guys, I really enjoyed this episode. I think there's a lot more mystery today, and I think in these next 5 episodes, we're going to see him take back his central role in this series, because a lot of the focus at the moment has been on Dawn. And then we've got Demoiselle. Is she going to do what's right for Foundation, or for Empire, or for humanity? It's that paradox that she spoke about in the last episode. So, let me know your thoughts, guys. Hit me in the comments, and of course, don't forget to subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time with something new.